Frankie, CHIC, one of your runners coming up in the early part of the card on Wednesday night. First run back this season. He was pretty good when we last saw him.
Yes, and also we trial him and the political kiss on. He trial good and only the jaw a little bit outside, but anyway, he got some gate speed. He can follow maybe a little bit forward, yeah.
Visually, Frankie, I mean, the trial looked good. Were you and all the team happy with the way he trialled coming into this?
Yes, for me, his trial good. Usually, if he can lead or a little bit second, third, should be good for him, yeah.
Just going back to when he debuted last season, Frankie, he obviously met plenty of traffic that day at Sha Tin. Were you hopeful that he was sort of ready to sort of run a big race fresh up? I mean, he's fresh up this time. Are you confident he is a fresh horse?
I think so. Usually, if the horse the first time start, I think should be good for him because he look like need to fresh up the horse. Yeah.
Got the informed jockey on as well, Hugh Bowman. Is it easier? Is it harder to get Hugh nowadays? I guess he's quite popular, isn't he?
Yes, but I booked him a bit early, so I can get it.
And Frankie, just the way the season started for you, you've got on the score sheet already. Are your horses maybe taking a run just to get to sort of peak fitness at this stage?
Some horse, yes. Usually, I don't want to push them too hard. And except some horses, if they haven't got the distance yet, maybe I trial him 2 times. If they have a distance, maybe I trial once and then let him race 1 time first. Yeah.
CHIC looks like he might be able to add to the winning tally.
I hope so, because you can see the jockey is on fire.
Pierre, now Dragon Star last week, so nearly pulled off a little bit of a shock. I guess it probably didn't come as much of a surprise to you, did it, on what he'd done at the trials?
He did really well in Chongfa trials, and obviously when he turned his age, he's more mature. And that's why he performed last week. He was a bit unlucky last week with drawn line, and we have to use a bit to get in front. Hopefully this time we got the gate and we don't have to use that much in the early stage.
What was it that sort of in your mind, suggested to you that changing tactics might be the way to go? Because obviously he had normally been held up, but I mean that trial up in Chongfa probably wins the prize for being one of the most impressive all season, and we're only fresh into it.
Yeah, he was fresh, and he just run a very good section in the Chongfa in that trial, and he definitely improves from last season. So yeah, that's why he showed that performance.
And clearly on what he's shown form-wise, he obviously prefers going forward. But himself as an individual, is he a happy horse like that? Does he settle a bit better perhaps in front?
He loves to get in front, and he just won pace, and he just stayed on, and that's why we get him to the front, and which he did last week. He stayed on, and last season we tried, but he's not there yet and not ready yet. So yeah, looking forward to have some more fun with him this season.
You mentioned the gate. I mean, he's ideally placed in 1, and you've got Angus Chung on as well, so that there are plenty of positives there.
Yes, definitely. With 7 pounds off early in the season, I think it is a big advantage.
He's getting a few rides for you, Angus, and he's certainly doing well, isn't he, at this stage?
Yeah, definitely he improves, either riding in front or coming from the back for me. And he seems we get along well.
David, ALLGREEKTOME was a horse we were looking forward to seeing last week. Now, obviously, he didn't run. Just talk us through exactly what happened for those that didn't know.
Yeah, he went out on the track with the clerk of the course, the pony, and he was leaning on the pony a little bit, and he lashed out and kicked him between the legs. And there was a minor cut, very minor, it was nothing, but he was deemed, because he got kicked, and favourite not to run. I wasn't too worried because he drew wide, had a wet track, and today's got a dry track and probably firm, so, and good barrier.
Yeah, and I did read you sort of the thinking that it could well be a blessing in disguise.
I think it definitely was a blessing. When he wasn't hurt, the next morning he was able to work and pass his OVE, and he hasn't missed a beat since. So we probably won't use the pony on Wednesday.
Quite. Obviously, with all those factors in consideration, obviously, given that it was obviously a wider draw and it was a bit softer ground. But were you confident that he was ready to do himself justice first up and perhaps go very close?
Yeah. Look, I thought he would have run a very good race, but I was worried there was a bit of pressure in the race, but when Tony Cruise's horse didn't begin as fast, maybe it would have been a good race for him.
He likes it round here. You got Luke Ferraris on board, so certainly a few factors there worth considering.
Yeah, Luke's gain, Zach's loss. Zach, had, of course, had a ride, and when we changed plans, we went for Luke, which is good.
Stable are in good form, both here in Hong Kong and Australia. You've been pleased with Lucky Encounter.
Yeah, Lucky Encounter I thought was very impressive. He's got a lot of improvement left in him, and he'll slowly go through the grades.
You got anything to take your three sons on come December, hopefully, Mr. Brightside?
Well, Mr. Brightside's definitely coming. Which race will be decided after the Cox Plate.
Lyle, Telecom Fighters is your ride in race 8, the Victoria Harbour Handicap at Class 2. He's a winner at the grade, and he's a horse that you're creating a bit of an association with.
Yes, he's getting on now in age, but I must say he felt really good in his trial the other day, and his fresh up record is pretty good. So happy to be back aboard him, and like I say, he's always a competitive horse and gives his best. So looking forward to taking this opportunity again.
He took the sort of notable scalp when we saw him last back end. Obviously, Galaxy Witness was best of the rest, but he beat a pretty solid field, didn't he? Yeah, well, that again, he had a little bit of a break and came into that race off one trial and had trialled really well. So in sort of the same situation now, albeit a couple of points higher, but being such an honest horse, and he will run another good race. When they have a fresh record, Lyle, as good as he's 2 wins from 3, which is quite good by my very poor maths. How confident can a jockey be knowing that this is their first up run and that they've got that sort of record? Well, it allows you, especially at the beginning of the season, everyone is probably just behind their 100% fitness. So it allows you to ride a horse as if he was 100% fit, because he obviously enjoys it fresh. And like I say, he gave me the feel that his well-being is really good at the moment as well. So yeah, we're ready to go. Let's finally just address the elephant in the room, because gate 12 is not going to make your job any easier. I guess that is the one caveat against him potentially running a really good race. Yeah, well, that's the only other thing. It could mean a little bit more petrol has to be used, but with that said, I think there's only one other horse that has forward running speed, and he has very, very good gate speed too. So I think if any horse you didn't mind being drawn 12 with, he's probably the one.